With the internet becoming a huge thing, especially with apps like Furry Amino that are geared towards younger furries, so please, older furries, be a friend to the younger furries. I've seen so much constant growth in this fandom, and it's amazing how large the numbers have gotten. And the only way this fandom will keep on growing is if we encourage the young people that are coming into it.
The furry community is a very openly accepting community. It is a place where people find happiness. If a convention is adult themed or 18 plus exclusively, they will tell you. They will make it very clear that this is an 18 plus con and there are no children allowed, period. But it's very rare for one of those to happen. So if you are teaching them the proper ways to keep themselves safe in an online presence, then everything's gonna be fine. If you can trust your child to handle that much, then you have nothing to worry about. Literally nothing.
Furries are weird, and people are going to think you're weird if you are a furry. Don't take that as an insult, because being weird is really super fun. You shouldn't let other people's opinions determine how you're going to act. You shouldn't let other people's views determine how you're going to see yourself as a person. Being a furry and identifying as one is nothing more than a hobby.
There's absolutely nothing to worry about. In fact, your child, friend, acquaintance, or individual of interest you may be worried about is probably making the best decision of their life by being in the fandom. I won't be able to go into the history of how the furries came to be, as I myself don't even really know. What do furries actually do? And this question has a variety of answers, but mainly revolves around the idea of fluffy and huggable animals. What could you not love about this? In short, for most people, the furry fandom is a fun and healthy hobby. Just remember that being interested in the furry fandom is no different than any other hobby or interest.
People are gonna call you weird for being a furry, but this fandom is weird, and that's a good thing. Also, being a furry is a lot of fun. You meet friendly, kind people, you get to make really awesome characters and art. There are a lot of good artists in our community, and a lot of good content creators. There's a lot of just good content in this fandom as well. Enjoy being in this fandom, and if anybody calls you weird, just let them, because it is a weird, it is a weird hobby. Being a furry is just a hobby. It's not a big deal. It's only a hobby. If you don't feel comfortable telling your friends or your family, don't tell them. They don't need to know. It's just a hobby. This is just a hobby.
There's no age requirement to be in the fandom. And now we've got the adult side of the fandom. Yep, it exists. Everyone knows about it. That CSI episode has milked the stereotype for all it's worth. And it's no doubt older than some of my viewers at this point. It's a big part of the community. That does not mean the entire fandom is into that stuff. Ow. Not every furry digs the adult side of the community. I've had some pretty interesting debates with people who are convinced, beyond the outer reaches of the universe, that the community is purely about the adult side and nothing else. Which is, most illogical. And if you're an adult furry, 18 or older, who digs the 18 plus side, that's great. You do you. Do what makes you happy, provided it's not illegal and isn't hurting anyone. I know some parents and or guardians who might be concerned now because of the 18 plus side of things. And for that, I urge you to go check out Moms of Furries. It's a fantastic YouTube channel, literally ran by Moms of Furries. The point I'm trying to make is we shouldn't let the adult side of the community overshadow everything else. And being a furry is nothing to be ashamed of. There are certainly a few bad actors in our community, but bad actors can be found in literally every community.
You know that since the furry fandom has gotten traction with new representatives appearing every day and support growing for a hobby that is so unique, companies have looked to cater to furries now with different products and features that are meant to target this new audience. This in turn allows kids to have an easier time discovering the furry fandom and learning about it. As much as it would be wonderful for all parents of furries, both young and old, to be accepting towards their child's hobby, hell, you may or may not have even told your parents about your furry fandom interests, but they still may show prejudice against that hobby. So for this reason as to why parents may be against furries, it's like taking a shot in the dark hoping your parents won't find the bad stuff. But for hobbies like the furry fandom, like stated before, parents never grew up with this sort of hobby or interest in their lives, so they more than likely won't be able to relate with the furry fandom. It's seen as the abnormal hobby to be interested in by most people, and it more than likely will always be that way. Parents may think that their child has come to such a low point in their life that the parents don't know how to react or even treat this hobby. So unfortunately, it's up to us to have some sort of damage control that can help negotiate with parents about their child's hobby while also informing future parents of furries in a proper manner.
Yes, and we would say if you are a parent out there and your child has come to you and told you that they want to be a part of the fandom or that they are a part of the fandom, don't panic, take a deep breath, do a little research, because it can be a wonderful, creative, safe outlet for your child and something that you can share together.
If you are passionate about this hobby and only want to focus on the good aspects, no matter what, your parents do love you and hopefully want the best for you. Then again, you could just not care what they think about your furry side and just move out depending on your age.
No matter what you've heard, young furries are good for the fandom. I also get a lot of comments from young furries saying they don't know how to tell their parents they're a furry. Here's a shocker for you. You don't. You really don't need to tell them. Being a furry is just a hobby. Okay, young furs, now we need to talk about a serious topic, art theft. I just want all you young furs to remember that you're important to this fandom.
So your kid is a furry. Whether you found out from them telling you, or you found it on their internet history, just know that there's nothing to worry about. Being a furry is no different from any other hobby or interest. The furry fandom is simply a group of people who are fans of anthropomorphic animals. Nothing more and nothing less. It simply means that you think it's really cool when animals walk on two legs and talk to each other. My main goal with my furry videos is to help others smile and to spread positivity. Other furries may create art. The furry fandom pretty much revolves around art. And because of this, many furry artists are able to make a living through furry art. The main reason furries like to wear fursuits is just because it's fun. There is a sexual side to the fandom, however, it is not the majority. Media has portrayed furries as a sex-crazed community, but these are just stereotypes. While a majority of furries are not interested in the sexual side, there are the few that are. However, there is nothing wrong with that. It's no different than any sexual interest that you yourself might even have. Furry conventions are a place where furries can get together and have fun. Furry conventions are safe for minors to attend. I went to my first one when I was 17. It is not a place where your child can turn a corner and get drugs from people. It is a place where your child can turn a corner and get hugs from a giant fluffy fox. Furries don't sound so bad anymore, now do they? There's always going to be people on the internet who hate on anything just because it's different. Just make sure to review internet safety with your child, and they will be completely fine. There is nothing wrong with your child for having this interest. And remember, there's nothing wrong with being a furry.